Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone. Welcome to today's presentation on topic relationship between state administration, law and government administration law. On our lecture, Mr. Rizky Safrir, SHI, MSc. Now, please to introduce our speakers. Number one is Kofifa Fahmi Azhara, Jumaita Lestari, and Nur Hafizah Putri Indriani. The first material will be delivered by Kofifa Fahmi Azhara. Time is yours.
Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. Background of the discussion. The relationship between the state administration law and the government administration law is very important to understand in the context of governance. The state administration law regulates the principles and norms underlying the administration of governments, while the government administration law provides a more specific legal framework for the implementation of public administration. The two complement each other, where the government administration law serves as a concrete guideline for the state apparatus in carrying out its duties. Therefore, a good understanding of this relationship is essential for every citizen who wants to understand their right and obligation in the context of government administration. The public can better understand how the state carries of the function and responsibilities in a transparent and accountable manner. Purpose of the discussion. The purpose of discussing the relationship between the state administration law and the government administration law is to understand the role and function of each in government. Thus, we can recognize how the state administration law provides general principles, while the government administration law provides clear operational guidelines. In addition, this understanding aims to increase public awareness of right and obligation in interacting with the state apparatus. State administration law. State administration law is a system of legal norms that regulates the organization and implementation of government duties, as well as the relationship between the governments and citizens. This law aims to ensure that the administration of government is carried out properly, fairly, and responsibly, and to protect the rights of the public from arbitrary action by government against officials. Government administration law. The government administration law is a regulation that regulates the basic principles and mechanisms in the management of government administration in Indonesia. This law aims to ensure good governance, effectiveness, efficiency, transparency, and accountability. It also covers various aspects concerning in the relationship between the government and society, and how the government should carry out the duties and function in compliance with applicable laws and regulations. Relationship between state administration law and government administration law. State administration law and the government administration law have a close relationship with the framework of government administration. This law serves to implement the principles in state administration law, such as legality, legal protection, and accountability. Thus, the government administration law can be considered as a concrete instrument that clarifies and strengthens the application of the principles in administration law at the practical level in governments. Thanks all for me. I'll return in the moderator.
Thank you for Kofifa Fahmi Azhara. Next, Jumaita Lestari. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. And I will continue explaining the materials about aspect of the norms and rules of the state's administration law. And one about norms. Legal norms. Legal norms regulate the way state apparatus carry out public administration, that is, both at the central and local levels. 2. Norms of authority. Every action of state administration must be in accordance with legal authority, without exceeding of or falling short of the limit set by law. 3. Norms of decency. In administrative action, decisions must be fair and consider propriety and justice for all parties. And next, about rules. 1. Rule of legality. Every government action must be in accordance with the law. Otherwise, the action is considered illegitimate, which protects citizens from abuse of power. 2. Rule of justice. Government decision must be fair and not disadvantage either party. Justice must be considered in every administrative action. 3. Discretionary rule. State officials have the freedom to make decisions in situations not covered by law, provided that the decision is made in good faith and in accordance with general norms. Next. And next, about the function and role of the state administrative law. 1. Regulation and control of authority. State administration law ensures that government action have a clear legal basis to prevent abuse and arbitrary actions. The principle of legality requires all government action to be in accordance with applicable laws. 2. Guaranteeing legal certainty. State administrative law provides legal certainty in government decisions. The public has the right to know and understand government policies that must comply with regulation. 3. Regulating government and citizen relation. Administrative law regulates the relationship between the government and its citizens, especially regarding the rights and obligation of citizens in terms of licensing, sanctions, and public service. 4. Control and supervision. Administrative law also serves to control the implementation of state administration, including supervision by institutions such as the state administrative court to examine the legality of adverse government decision. Next. And next, about role. Limitation of state's power. The Bill of Rights limits the power of the states from being arbitrary by ensuring the government obeys by the law and respect to right citizens. 2. Government accountability. The Bill of Rights ensures government decisions are legally, morally, and socially accountable, with public officials required to provide explanation for their actions. 3. Administrative dispute resolution. The NAP provides the basis for dispute resolution between government and citizen, allowing citizens to challenge administrative action through the PTUN. Next. And next, about implication for policy development. 1. Setting administrative procedures. This law sets out the procedures that the government must follow when making decisions, including notifying relevant parties, providing an opportunity to give opinions and appeals, and ensuring transparency. protection in individual rights. This law protects the rights of individuals in interaction with the government, including the rights to information, privacy, equality of treatment, and the right to participate in administrative proceedings. 3. Preventing abuse of authority. Law number 30 of 2014 aims to prevent abuse of power by government officials by ensuring government transparency and accountability. 4. A government development. Online public service a government improve efficiency, but there are still access challenges for people, especially in poor areas. 5. Government obligation. Administrative law emphasizes to government responsibilities and carrying out administrative function, including maintaining and balance between the public interest and the individual rights. Next. And next about discretionary regulation or phrase immersion or discretion. Phrase comes from the words free and free, which means free, independent, not bound, loose, and free person. Immersion, which means to consider, judge, surmise, judgment, and deliberation and decisions. According to the legal dictionary, discretion means the freedom to make decisions in every situation based according to one's own opinion. And by Prajudi Atmo Sudirjo, who defines discretion as freedom of action or decision making of administrative official to act or make decision of administrative official. And discretion itself is defined as one of the means that provides space for official of state administrative bodies to take action without having to be fully bound by the law or action taken by prioritizing the achievement of goals rather than in accordance with applicable law. Okay, that's all from me, and I'll return to the moderators.
Thanks to Jumaita Lestari. Next, Nur Hafizah Putri Indrani from our speakers, and time issue.
Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. I will continue explaining the material regarding discretionary regulation. Legal basic of discretion in the government administration provides regarding the use of phrase immersion by the government regulation in law number 30/2014. Criteria and limits in exercising discretion. Article 24 of law number 30 of the 2014 concerning government administration state that government official whose discretion must fulfill the following condition. In accordance with the purpose of discretion as referred to in Article 2 not contrary to the provisions of law and regulation 3 in accordance with AUPB or general principle of good government 4 based on objective reason 5 thus to cause a conflict of interest 6 done in the good fight. Article 24 of the Government Administration Law stipulates that government officials who use discretion to make decisions must pay attention to the purpose of discretion. applicable regulation and general principle of good governance. These principles include the prohibition of abuse of authority and the prohibition of arbitrary arbitrariness. Government policies that are inconsistent with this principle or contrary to the public interest are considered deviant. The government administration law describes the limits of the use of this discretion by government official as law. One, decision making or action based on regulation that profit option. Two, decision making or action when regulation are unclear or incomplete. Three, decision making or action to overcome governmental stagnation in favor of broader interests. Implication and responsibilities of discretionary decision. According to Uterres, there are several implications in the field of legislation related to government discretionary decision, namely, one, the government has the authority to make law and regulation at the level of a law without requiring prior parliamentary approval. Two, the government can make laws and regulations that are lower than the law based on delegation from the Constitution to regulate the provision in the existing law. The legal liability of official who issue discretionary decision can be divided into three aspects: administrative, civil, and criminal. One, administrative, the official must report the discretionary decision in writing to the superior. If the superior consider the decision invalid, he has the right to order the revocation of the decision. Two, criminal, if discretionary decision leads to a criminal act, the official who issue it will be liable. Three, discretionary decision of government official may result in civil damage for individual, group, or organization. Officials are also liable if the decision result from negligence, collusion, corruption, or nepotism in violation of state or local policy. Okay, next, legal action in the field of licensing, state administration law. Definition. Licensing is one of the juridical instruments used by the government to control community behavior. According to Speck and Denberge, a license is approved from the authorities based on law or government regulation to in certain circumstances deviate from the provisions of statutory prohibition or license in the narrow sense. That's all for me. I will return to the moderator.
Thanks to Nur Hafiza Putri. Now I will continue the material. Legal action in the field of licensing, state administration law. Definition. A licensing is an authorization from the authority based on a law or government regulation to allow the performance of certain acts or deeds that are generally prohibited. Two types of permits. One, business license. Two, building construction permit. Three, environmental permit, road permit, permit granting process, application, examination, and assessment of complainants, technical examination and analysis, decision making, permit issuance. Next. Types of licenses. Definition. A concession is a license relating to a major work in which the public interest is so closely involved that the work is actually the duty of the government, but the government grants the right to carry it out the concessionaire. 2. Difference with permits. Concessions involve a greater public interest and are usually granted for a longer period of time than ordinary permits. 3. Example of concession. Mining concessions, drinking water management concession, toll road concession. Types of licenses. License with definition. A license is permission to do something commercial or professional. 2. Scope. Covers intellectual property rights, professional activity, and the use of certain technology. 3. Difference with permit. Licenses are usually related to specific commercial or professional activity, whereas permits have a broader scope. Dispensation. 1. Definition and process of dispensation. A dispensation is an administrative decision that exempts an individual from rules that will normally prohibit an action. Its purpose is to overcome certain obstacle for specific underlying reason. 2. Example of dispensation application. 1. Marriage dispensation. Permission to marry, despite the acts of the prospective bride and groom not meeting the legal requirements. 2. Education dispensation. Permission for students to take exam, even if they do not meet the attendance requirements. Work dispensation. Freedom for employees from work obligation due to illness or urgent circumstance. For tax dispensation, reduce or exemption of tax payment under certain conditions. Implementation of the government administration law. 1. Transparency of public information. The government is required to provide clear and accurate information on policies, programs, and budgets. This is done through official websites and social media for easy public access. 2. Simplification of administration procedure. Local governments are required to simplify public service process such as licensing by introducing online system to make them faster and more efficient. 3. USN competency improvement. Consider regular training for the state civil apparatus to improve skills and knowledge in providing quality service to the community. 4. Community complaint system. Establish a complaints platform that is easily accessible to the public to submit complaints related to the public service and ensure effective follow-up. 5. Evaluation and accountability. Implement a regular evaluation system to assess the performance of government agency and ensure accountability for the use budgets and the result of service provided to the public. Conclusion. Administration law is a legal norm that regulates the performance of government duties and the relationship between the government and society, aiming to ensure fair and responsible governance. The Government Administration Law number 30 of 2014, serves to apply administration law principles such as legality and accountability in government practice. Administration law includes norms and rules governing government authority, fairness, and discretion. Discretion gives officials the freedom to make decisions in situations that are regulated in detail by law with certain limits to prevent abuse. The government administration law also regulates transparency, protection of individual rights, and simplification of administrative procedure to improve government efficiency and accountability. Referensi. That concludes our session for today. Thank you for your attention and participants. Have a great day. See you next. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.